Hello, Self, Cosmos, Universal. Dr. Nick here. It is Friday, October 24th, 2025. Second last day here in Lake Cowichan. We spent a day trying to go down to Aberdair Grove, going to do Botanical Bay, Botanical Beach, that loop, that hike, which really pushed my parents, my beloved, my son, and that was great. And then yesterday we dropped off my son to this beautiful nature program for a few hours, and then we went and got some meat, and then we saw my dear friend Sheila, and then we came home and had dinner with my dear friend Francis. I had some great sauna. He asked my parents some great questions, especially my dad. Got to rehear some stories. And then now I'm doing sauna with my mom this morning. Enemas. I've still got a little bit of the tickle in the throat, a little bit of the congestion in the back of the nose, but every morning just practicing all the different things, getting out in the sunshine, getting out into the fresh air, and noticing, yeah, the house is probably too hot, but letting that be the case, just noticing, and then noticing the stories that were there. Oh, hard work, that's how I get to the next level. No one fights work. Work is purpose. Work is motivation. Getting stuff done, the immediate feedback. Like part of it realizing, even as I want to be enlightened, I say want to be, and say, oh, I'm just making space for people to find their own healing. There's still a part of the head that says, I'm healing people. And I say that because it's okay that the ego is there. It's when I try to ignore the ego. I'll know the ego's gone when the ego's gone, not when I try to say that it's gone. I'll know more when things have shifted, not because I think or tell people things have shifted. It's like because I'm seeing multiple dimensions of reality at the same time. And I've seen glimpses of some of those dimensions of reality, not making it right or wrong, but this three-dimensional reality, the idea of the lake, the rain, all that stuff is not the only thing. I know that. And then the idea that we have of how reality works, I definitely know that. Like, oh, we were saying the other day, well, the trees are making oxygen that I'm breathing in. I don't actually know that to be true. That's how we try to describe the biochemistry of it all. But those are man-made sciences in order to describe what's actually happening in what we call physical nature. And then there's the parts that we can't measure. Now we're realizing all the electrical stuff. And right now, even talking to this, I've had to put this phone on airplane mode, and even then it keeps sending out signals. How many signals are coming up? How many signals are getting crossed? How much interference is there now? How much of our energy is spent on dealing with the interference rather than the direct connection? Because I do believe that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And I believe that we each have our own different numerology, human design, astrology, gene keys. All these are just trying to help us describe and get clear that there's differences, there's distinctions. We're not all created equal. And that's the whole point. It's the inequality of it all. But that's part of the lie. It sounds really good. All men are created equal. No. Hello. We're different at different ages as well. And can we actually be with the different ages? Can we be with the different phases, different races? Can we be with the different facial features, facial hair, facial bones? Can we be with the different gifts? And for me, it's practicing stepping into the gift. Part of the gift is now recognizing, creating these magic mirrors. And I'm doing this for me. The person who most needs to hear the story is me. I'm doing this in a way where I'm forgetting, how do I give it some structure for someone who's coming in? And probably the structure is going to be some AI summarizing what are the key points of this one, so that anyone who really wants to watch can watch. And then part of it is just letting it go. And I can notice myself talking fast, talking slow. And part of it's because I'm going to go back in one round of the sauna. And then taking the breaths and recognizing, because there's a piece of the healing processes, of the money processes, health, wealth, family, freedom, flow, receiving. There's a piece of having the conversations with the family to actually see what's there. There's a piece of stepping into the unknown with my conversation, stepping into the discomfort sometimes, stepping into life. And then when I put my feet up, feeling the pain in my feet, feeling myself judging others and thanking them. Wow, there's so many experiences going around me, whether it's health, ALS, whether it's breakups of long-term relationships, marriages, things like that, whether it's people buying homes, selling homes, moving, not moving, people going through different changes, people building these networks of large groups of people, filling voids, filling needs, and then noticing my own story going, how do I do that? How do I catch up? And realizing I'm not trying to catch up. But there's that old pattern that wants to prove myself to external sources. Sources don't, even this, There's a part that wants to prove myself to an invisible, unnamed, intangible audience, rather than say, this magic mirror work is really for me, by me, through me. I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing the words that I'm speaking. I'm hearing the buds. I'm hearing the changing of my own leaves, the changing of my season. I'm looking at my own numerology, my motivation being the visionary, being the humanitarian, being the caregiver, and embracing all those parts, even when I don't think I do it perfectly. It's divine imperfection, and that's part of it. I can see the pattern of wanting perfection so much that I'll abdicate my own throne in order to see if I can follow someone else, because then at least I can blame someone else. Or I can say, this is their perfection. You asked me, I fulfilled it exactly the way you asked. But even when someone asks and how I receive are two entirely different things. And that's part of it so funny. When we repeat back what I heard, what someone else thinks they said, and they're two entirely different things. So I love being outside. Thank you for this fresh air, I'm going to call that, because it does feel fresh. Thank you for the cloud cover. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the friends that are coming to visit. Thank you for this space, this place. Thank you for the hosts. Thank you for the land. Thank you for the animals. Thank you for the spirits. Thank you for the extraterrestrials. Thank you for me. Thank you for guiding myself to this point. Thank you for finding a place for dates, for listening to stories, for asking questions, and hearing something new. Ciao for now.